Introduction to Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was an ancient Greek ruler and one of history's greatest military minds who, as king of Macedonia, Greece, and Persia, established the largest empire the ancient world has ever seen. By turns charismatic and ruthless, brilliant and power-hungry, diplomatic and bloodthirsty, Alexander inspired such loyalty in his men they'd follow him anywhere, and if necessary, die in the process. Though Alexander the Great died before realizing his dream of uniting a new realm, his influence on Greek and Asian culture was so profound it inspired a new historical epoch, the Hellenistic period. In one complete sentence, describe Alexander the Great and his relationship with his men in your own words. Early life. Alexander III was born in Pella, Macedonia in 356 BC to King Philip II and Queen Olympias. Although legend had it his father was none other than Zeus, the ruler of the Greek gods. Philip II was an impressive military man in his own right. He turned Macedonia, a region on the northern part of the Greek peninsula, into a force to be reckoned with, and he fantasized about conquering the massive Persian Empire. At age 12, Alexander showed impressive courage when he tamed the wild horse Bucephalus, an enormous stallion with a furious demeanor. The horse became his battle companion for most of Alexander's life. When Alexander was 13, Philip called on the great philosopher Aristotle to tutor his son. Aristotle sparked and fostered Alexander's interest in literature, science, medicine, and philosophy. Alexander was just 16 when Philip went to battle the Byzantiums and left him in charge of Macedonia. In 338 BC, Alexander saw the opportunity to prove his military worth and led a cavalry against the sacred Battle of Thebes, a supposedly unbeatable select army. During the Battle of Chorona, Alexander put his vigor, strength, and bravery on display, and his troops decimated the Battle of Thebes. In one complete sentence, explain why Bucephalus was important to Alexander. Alexander's rule and downfall. In 336 BC, Alexander's father, Philip, was assassinated. Just 20 years old, Alexander claimed the Macedonian throne and killed his rivals before they could challenge his sovereignty. He also squashed rebellions for independence in northern Greece. Once he cleaned house, Alexander left to follow in his father's footsteps and continued Macedonia's world domination. By 323 BC, Alexander was head of an enormous empire. Thanks to his insatiable urge for world supremacy, he started plans to conquer Arabia. But he'd never lived to see it happen. After surviving battle after fierce battle, Alexander the Great died in June 323 BC at age 32. Some historians say Alexander died of malaria or of other natural causes. Others believe he was poisoned. Either way, he never named a successor. His death and the bloody infighting for control that happened afterwards unraveled the empire he'd fought so hard to create. After his death, the city-states of Greece fell into decline. The Hellenistic period of instability in Greece ultimately led to the Romans taking over Greece. Nonetheless, many conquered lands retained the Greek influence Alexander introduced. Some cities he founded remain important cultural centers even today, and Alexander the Great is revered as one of the most powerful and influential leaders the ancient world ever produced. To answer today's focus question, answer the question, was Alexander the Great truly great? Write your best CER response below.